The massive ships appeared in Earth's orbit on an ordinary Tuesday morning in 2145, their crystalline hulls refracting sunlight in impossible patterns across the sky. Captain Diana Reeves stood on the observation deck of the International Space Command Station, her dark eyes fixed on the visitors that would change humanity's destiny forever. "They're requesting to establish diplomatic contact," Lieutenant James Harrison reported, his voice steady despite the tension in the room. "They're calling themselves the hegemony of advanced species." Diana's fingers tapped against the railing, a habit she'd developed during her 15 years of military service. Something about this didn't feel right. The timing was too perfect, the aliens too accommodating. The hegemony's message was broadcast worldwide: "We come as friends and mentors, offering advancement to humanity. Your species has shown remarkable potential. We wish to guide you to the stars." Within days, the hegemony's representatives were meeting with world leaders. Their ambassador, a tall, ethereal being called First Speaker Vexthor, charmed humanity with promises of medical breakthroughs, clean energy, and faster-than-light travel. Diana was appointed as Earth's military liaison to the hegemony, a position that gave her unprecedented access to their technology and representatives. "They're surprisingly willing to share advanced tech," her science officer, Dr. Raj Patel, remarked during their first briefing aboard the hegemony station. "Too willing," Diana muttered, studying the schematics for their latest gift, a global atmospheric purification system. Months passed, and Earth transformed. Cancer became treatable with a single injection. Clean energy eliminated pollution. Poverty began to decline as new technologies revolutionized manufacturing and agriculture. But Diana's unease grew stronger. She noticed patterns in the hegemony's behavior, subtle things at first. They always insisted on installing their gifts themselves. They maintained exclusive control over certain systems. Their ships moved in and out of Earth's solar system with increasing frequency. The breakthrough came during a late-night analysis session with Dr. Patel. They were reviewing data from Earth's new deep space sensors, another hegemony gift, when Raj noticed something odd. "These energy signatures," he said, pointing to seemingly random fluctuations. "They're not random at all. They're concentrated around Earth's core." Diana leaned closer, her heart racing. "Can you isolate the pattern?" Working through the night, they discovered the truth. The hegemony's gifts weren't gifts at all, they were tools of exploitation. The atmospheric purifiers, the energy systems, even the medical technologies, all were collecting data about Earth's composition, particularly its rich core of rare elements. "They're not mentors," Diana whispered, staring at the evidence. "They're miners. Sophisticated, patient miners." Further investigation revealed more. The hegemony had done this before, numerous times. They would find developing civilizations, pose as benefactors, and secretly extract their world's resources. By the time the victim species realized what was happening, their planet was already doomed. But the hegemony had made a crucial mistake with Earth. They had underestimated human skepticism and ingenuity. Diana and her team began their own secret project, working with a select group of scientists and military personnel from around the world. Using the hegemony's own technology, they started developing countermeasures. Dr. Patel led a team reverse engineering their gifts, finding ways to detect and neutralize the hidden mining operations. In secure facilities deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, human engineers began building weapons that combined hegemony tech with human innovation. "We need to keep playing along," Diana told the emergency meeting of Earth's Security Council. "Let them think we're grateful, naive children while we prepare." The council agreed, and Operation Phoenix was born. As the hegemony continued their secret extraction of Earth's resources, humanity prepared for war. They had one advantage the hegemony's previous victims never had: they had discovered the truth early enough to act. Diana stood in the command center of humanity's first true warship, hidden in an underground facility in Antarctica. The vessel incorporated hegemony technology but was distinctly human in design and capability. Their enemies had given humanity the tools of their own destruction, believing humans too primitive to properly understand or utilize them. The extraction rate is increasing, Raj reported one evening, his face grim. They're accelerating their timeline. Diana nodded, watching the construction of Earth's secret fleet on multiple monitors. How long? At the current rate? 2 years before critical damage to Earth's core begins. Then we have 18 months to prepare, Diana replied, her voice hard with determination. The hegemony thinks they're watching a primitive species fumble with advanced technology. Instead, they're watching their own doom unfold. As she spoke, hundreds of ships were taking shape in hidden facilities around the world. The hegemony's gifts were being turned into weapons, their technology twisted and improved upon by human ingenuity. They would learn too late that humanity didn't accept exploitation quietly. The first phase of Earth's response was already in motion. Soon, the hegemony would discover that their latest target wasn't as helpless as they thought. Humanity was preparing to strike back, and the galaxy would never be the same. Deep beneath the Sahara Desert, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Lieutenant Marcus Wong watched as the latest prototype weapon came to life. The device, no larger than a briefcase, contained technology that would have been impossible just a year ago. Power signature is stable, reported Dr. Isabella Santos, her fingers dancing across the holographic controls. The quantum matrix is holding at 98% efficiency, better than the hegemony's own designs. Marcus smiled. Like many of Earth's best minds, Isabella had been recruited into Operation Phoenix after demonstrating an uncanny ability to understand and improve upon alien technology. The hegemony had expected humans to take decades to grasp their gifts. Instead, humanity's greatest advantage proved to be their ability to think differently, to see possibilities their would-be conquerors never imagined. How many units can we produce? Marcus asked, making notes on his secure tablet. With the automated facilities running at full capacity? 5,000 per week. The hard part was cracking their quantum technology. Mass production is just engineering. The quantum disruptors were just one piece of Earth's growing arsenal. In similar facilities around the world, other teams were developing their own weapons and defenses. Each breakthrough was shared through a secure network that used modified hegemony communication technology, modified so thoroughly that their benefactors couldn't detect it. In the Indian Ocean, submarines that appeared primitive on hegemony scans were actually carrying advanced stealth systems. The Amazon rainforest concealed shipyards where vessels were being constructed with hybrid technology that surpassed anything the hegemony had shared. Even the civilian sector was secretly contributing, with manufacturing plants around the world producing components that seemed mundane but would prove vital to Earth's defense. Captain Diana Reeves's voice came through Marcus's secure communicator. Status report? Phase 2 is ahead of schedule, he replied. The quantum disruptors are ready for full production. Dar. Santos has even made improvements to the original design. Good. We've just received word from our insider. The insider was a member of a species called the Zarkali, one of the hegemony's earlier victims. A small group of them had survived their world's destruction and had been secretly helping humanity. Their assistance had proved invaluable in understanding hegemony technology and tactics. What did they find? Isabella asked, joining the conversation. The hegemony is planning to accelerate their timeline. They're not just mining our core, they're preparing to harvest the entire solar system. They've done this before. They strip mine everything of value, then leave the surviving population to deal with the consequences. Marcus felt his hands clench into fists. The hegemony's arrogance was staggering. They saw other species as nothing more than obstacles to resource extraction, assuming their technological advantage made them invincible. How are the other projects progressing? Diana asked. Project Darkstar is operational, Marcus reported. This was their answer to the hegemony's superior numbers, autonomous combat drones that combined human AI innovation with alien technology. The hegemony had given Earth basic AI systems, never imagining that humans would develop them into something far more sophisticated. The shield arrays are ready too, Isabella added. We've managed to create a defense system that doesn't just block their weapons, it redirects the energy. Every attack they launch will only make our defenses stronger. The next hour was spent reviewing progress across all fronts. The orbital platforms disguised as communication satellites were actually weapon systems waiting to be activated. The new, civilian, space stations were armed to the teeth. Even Earth's internet had been weaponized, with viral codes ready to infect and disable any hegemony system that tried to access it. Marcus nodded, straightening his uniform. He would smile, thank the hegemony for their generosity, and pretend to be amazed by their technological demonstrations. All while knowing that humanity was preparing to show them what true advancement looked like. As he left the facility, Marcus passed rows of seemingly primitive missiles. The hegemony's scans showed them as simple nuclear weapons, the best they believed Earth could produce. In reality, each one contained technology that would make their mentors pale with fear, if they knew to look for it. The best disguise, Dr. Santos had once said, is to be exactly what they expect to see. And that's what Earth had become, a perfect disguise. Every grateful acceptance of hegemony technology, every wide-eyed demonstration of human progress, every humble request for guidance, all of it carefully crafted to maintain the illusion of a primitive species slowly learning to crawl. But beneath this mask, humanity was not crawling. They were building, preparing, and innovating in ways the hegemony couldn't imagine. Their would-be conquerors had made the mistake of judging humanity by their past, never considering what they might become when faced with extinction. In his office at the main Earth Hegemony Liaison Facility, Marcus reviewed the latest intelligence reports. The hegemony's mining operations were intensifying, just as predicted. They thought they were right on schedule, their plan proceeding perfectly. They didn't know that every mineral they extracted, every bit of data they collected, was being tracked and analyzed. Earth's true defense network was recording everything, building a complete picture of hegemony operations that would prove invaluable when the time came to strike. The countdown had begun. Soon, the hegemony would learn that their greatest mistake wasn't trying to destroy Earth, it was giving humanity the tools and motivation to fight back. The hegemony's first-year celebration of their arrival on Earth was a masterpiece of grandiose theater. Their massive station, hovering above the Atlantic Ocean, glowed with ethereal lights as delegations from Earth attended what they believed would be a demonstration of even more advanced technology. Admiral Victoria Nash stood among Earth's representatives, her ceremonial uniform adorned with the new friendship badges the hegemony had gifted to Earth's military leaders. Behind her practiced smile lay years of combat experience and months of careful planning. Remarkable progress, first speaker Vexthor commented, his crystalline form shifting colors as he addressed the gathered humans. Your species has embraced our guidance with unprecedented enthusiasm. We are grateful for your mentorship, Victoria replied, the practiced words tasting bitter. In her ear, a nearly undetectable communicator kept her connected to Earth's true command center, hidden deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. The celebration continued with carefully choreographed demonstrations. The hegemony showed off transportation technology that could move entire cities, medical advances that promised near immortality, and weapons that could reshape continents. All gifts they promised to share once Earth had progressed enough. What they didn't know was that humans had already surpassed many of these technologies. In fact, the quantum computing system hidden in Victoria's friendship badge was analyzing and improving upon each demonstration in real time. The extraction rates have increased by 300%, Lieutenant Harrison's voice whispered in her ear. They're getting bolder. Victoria maintained her expression of wonder as Vexthor explained the principles behind their latest gift, a planetary shield system that would supposedly protect Earth from asteroids. In reality, it was designed to prevent escape once they began their final harvest. "Your world will soon be ready for full membership in the hegemony," Vexthor announced to applause from the alien delegates. "Your resources and potential will contribute greatly to our collective advancement." Resources and potential. Their euphemisms for theft and genocide were almost elegant. Back on Earth, in the secret command center, Dr. Raj Patel monitored the hegemony's true activities. "They're positioning their harvest ships in the outer solar system," he reported. "Just as our insider warned. Once their fleet reaches critical mass, they'll begin the final phase." Victoria excused herself from the celebration, making her way to a private observation deck. The view of Earth below was breathtaking, and soon to be a battlefield if their intelligence was correct. "Status of Project Prometheus?" she asked quietly. "All systems are go," Marcus Wong replied from his position in the Sahara facility. "The quantum disruptors are in place. Shield arrays are operational but dormant. The Dark Star units are ready for deployment." "And our special surprise?" There was a smile in Isabella Santos's voice as she responded from her station in the Pacific Command Center. "The virus is ready. Once activated, it will infect every piece of hegemony technology that's connected to their network. They gave us access to their basic computer systems, never imagining we could understand their quantum architecture." Victoria allowed herself a small smile. The hegemony's greatest weakness was their absolute certainty in their own superiority. They had given Earth access to their technology, believing humans would take generations to truly understand it. Instead, humanity had torn it apart, improved it, and weaponized it in ways the hegemony hadn't thought possible. "Time estimate?" Victoria asked. "Their fleet will reach critical mass in 72 hours, Raj reported. Once they begin the final harvest, they'll expect minimal resistance. After all, we're just primitive humans who barely understand their basic gifts." The next 3 days were a careful dance of deception. Earth's leaders attended more celebrations, expressed more gratitude, and asked for more guidance. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, humanity's true forces moved into position. The hegemony's harvest ships were massive, each one capable of stripping a planet's resources in days. They approached Earth with the confidence of predators who had done this hundreds of times before. Their sensors showed only what they expected to see, a developing world with basic defenses and primitive technology. What they couldn't see were the quantum-shifted weapons platforms hidden in Earth's orbit. Or the upgraded defense systems embedded in every major city. Or the fleet of advanced ships waiting in dimensional spaces the hegemony thought impossible for humans to access. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, Victoria stood before the assembled Earth Defense Council. "The hegemony will begin their final approach in 6 hours, she announced. "All our forces are in position. The only question remaining is, do we strike first, or wait for them to show their true intentions?" The council chamber was silent for a moment. These men and women represented every nation on Earth, united for the first time in human history by a common threat. "We strike first," the council president declared. "We show them that humanity will not be another footnote in their history of conquest." Victoria nodded, then turned to the massive tactical display showing Earth's true defensive capabilities. "Send the code phrase to all commands, Prometheus unbound." Across the solar system, humanity's hidden forces prepared for battle. The hegemony's harvest fleet approached, their weapons powered up, ready to begin what they thought would be another routine extraction of a primitive world's resources. They were about to learn that humanity had turned their own arrogance into a weapon. The predators were about to become prey, and the galaxy would never be the same. Operation Prometheus began not with a bang, but with silence. As the hegemony's harvest fleet moved into position, their communications suddenly went dark. Across their ships, systems began failing in cascading waves of disruption. The quantum virus is spreading exactly as designed, Isabella Santos reported from her station. Their entire network is being corrupted by our modified code. On the bridge of the Hegemony's flagship, first speaker Vexthor was experiencing something entirely new to his species: panic. Impossible, he muttered, watching as his fleet's most basic systems failed. They're primitives. They couldn't understand our quantum architecture, let alone. His words were cut off as the void around Earth's orbit suddenly blazed with light. Hundreds of human vessels emerged from dimensional shifts, their designs unlike anything the Hegemony had ever seen. These weren't the crude ships they'd been monitoring, these were warships that combined Hegemony technology with human innovation in ways that should have been impossible. Admiral Victoria Nash's voice broadcast across all frequencies, "Attention Hegemony forces. You have violated the sovereignty of Earth and attempted to destroy our world. Your harvest ends today." The first wave of Earth's attack was devastating in its precision. Quantum disruptors targeted the Hegemony's mining ships, shutting down their extraction systems permanently. The autonomous Dark Star units swarmed larger vessels, their advanced AI systems predicting and countering every defensive move before it was made. "They're trying to call for reinforcements," Marcus Wong reported from Tactical Command. "But our quantum jammers are blocking all faster-than-light communications. They're isolated." Victoria watched from the bridge of Earth's flagship, the Phoenix, as the battle unfolded. The Hegemony's ships were attempting to reorganize, to mount some kind of defense, but they were fighting an enemy that understood their technology better than they did. "Launch the Nemesis warheads," she ordered. What appeared to be standard nuclear missiles streaked from Earth's surface. The Hegemony's defenders attempted to intercept them, succeeding in destroying several. But when the warheads detonated, they didn't release nuclear energy, they released waves of quantum disruption that turned the Hegemony's own shield technology against them. "How?" Vexthor demanded as his flagship systems continued to fail. "How did you develop this level of technology without us detecting it?" Victoria's response was broadcast across all channels: "You gave us the tools of our own salvation, thinking us too primitive to truly understand them. Your arrogance blinded you to our potential." The battle in Earth's orbit became a testament to human ingenuity. Every gift the Hegemony had given, every piece of technology they had shared, had been studied, improved, and turned into a weapon. The quantum shields they had provided for Earth's cities now powered weapons that could pierce their strongest defenses. The AI systems they had deemed primitive now outsmarted their best tactical computers. "Their primary harvest fleet is disabled," Raj reported from Tactical. Moving to Phase 2. Across the solar system, hidden human outposts activated. What the Hegemony had dismissed as simple research stations revealed themselves to be forward operating bases, armed with weapons that targeted their supply lines and support vessels. The Hegemony's carefully planned harvest had turned into a nightmare. Their ships were being systematically disabled or destroyed. Their crews, faced with humanity's unexpected technological superiority, began surrendering in growing numbers. "We're detecting multiple quantum signatures," Marcus announced. They managed to get a distress signal out through a backup system. "Hegemony reinforcements are incoming." Victoria smiled. "Right on schedule. Launch Operation Hydra." As the Hegemony reinforcements emerged from faster-than-light travel, they found themselves caught in the same trap that had decimated the First Fleet. But this time, humanity was ready with new tactics. The Dark Star units had learned from the first engagement, their AI systems evolving strategies in real time. "Their command and control structure is collapsing," Isabella reported. "The virus has spread to their reinforcement fleet through their own communication protocols." On the Phoenix's main screen, Victoria watched as the mighty Hegemony, terror of countless civilizations, found itself outmaneuvered by the very species they had planned to exploit. Their ships, designed for efficiency in resource extraction, proved vulnerable to weapons specifically crafted to target their weaknesses. "They're requesting terms of surrender," Marcus announced, his voice tight with controlled emotion. Victoria straightened in her command chair. "Put first speaker Vexthor on screen." The once proud alien leader appeared, his crystalline form dulled with defeat. "How long?" he asked. "How long have you been preparing for this?" "Since the day you arrived," Victoria replied. "You thought you were watching a primitive species fumble with advanced technology. Instead, you were watching your own destruction unfold in slow motion." The battle that would become known as the liberation of Earth entered its final phase. Hegemony ships, their technology rendered useless by human ingenuity, surrendered to forces they had dismissed as primitive just hours before. But Victoria knew this was just the beginning. The hegemony's influence stretched across hundreds of worlds. Their defeat here would send shockwaves through the galaxy. Humanity had not just defended itself, it had revealed itself as a new power, one that would not tolerate the exploitation of any species. As the last hegemony vessel lowered its shields, Victoria sent a message to Earth's unified command: Phase 4 complete. Begin Operation Liberation. It's time to free every world they've enslaved. The galaxy was about to change forever, and humanity would lead that change. 3 months after Earth's victory over the hegemony's harvest fleet, the Great Hall of Justice on humanity's first interstellar station, Unity, hosted representatives from over 30 worlds. Some appeared in holographic form, others in environmental suits, and still others in their natural states, a testament to the diversity of life the hegemony had attempted to suppress. Admiral Victoria Nash stood before them, her uniform now bearing the insignia of the newly formed Galactic Liberation Force. Behind her, a massive display showed real-time updates of Operation Liberation's progress across the galaxy. "The hegemony's empire is falling," she announced, highlighting systems where their control had been broken. Their strategy relied on keeping their victims isolated, unaware of each other's existence. That ends today. In the months following Earth's victory, humanity had moved swiftly. The quantum virus they had developed continued to spread through hegemony networks, disabling their technology across countless systems. But more importantly, Earth shared its advancements with other worlds, teaching them how to resist their oppressors. Report from the Centauri front, Marcus Wong announced from his tactical station. "The hegemony mining fleet there has been neutralized. Local resistance forces, equipped with our quantum disruptors, have taken control of their system." Dr. Isabella Santos stepped forward, presenting the latest data from her research team. "We've successfully adapted our core stabilization technology for 17 different planetary compositions. The damage the hegemony caused can be reversed." The news brought murmurs of hope from the assembled representatives. Many of their worlds had suffered for centuries under hegemony exploitation, their cores stripped, their environments destroyed. Now, for the first time, they had hope of restoration. "But liberation is only the first step," Victoria continued. "The galaxy needs a new order, one based on cooperation and mutual respect, not exploitation and dominance." The Unity Charter was presented, a document that would form the foundation of a new galactic alliance. Unlike the hegemony's false promises of advancement, this charter guaranteed the sovereignty of all member worlds while promoting genuine technological and cultural exchange. From his cell in the high-security detention center, First Speaker Vexthor watched the proceedings with disbelief. "You're giving them our technology," he said, and Victoria visited him. "Freely sharing what took us millennia to develop." "No," Victoria corrected him. "We're sharing what humanity developed by improving upon your technology. There's a difference. We understand now why you kept your victims isolated, you feared what they might become if they worked together." The evidence of the hegemony's crimes, extracted from their own databases, was damning. Hundreds of worlds stripped of resources. Countless species relegated to refugee status or worse. All in the name of progress and advancement. But humanity's response wasn't revenge. Instead, Earth led the formation of the Galactic Restoration Initiative. Dr. Raj Patel headed the scientific division, working with experts from multiple species to develop technologies that could heal damaged worlds. The Zarkali homeworld will be our first major restoration project, he reported during a council session. Using our combined knowledge, we believe we can make it habitable again within a decade. The hegemony's former victims proved to be invaluable allies. Each species brought unique perspectives and innovations to the alliance. Together, they began building something the hegemony had never imagined, a true galactic community. Peace through strength, Victoria often said, but strength through unity. The Dark Star units, once weapons of war, were repurposed for exploration and recovery missions. The quantum disruptors that had disabled hegemony ships now powered devices that could restore planetary magnetic fields. Every tool of liberation was being transformed into an instrument of restoration. 1 year after the Battle of Earth, Victoria stood on the observation deck of Unity Station, watching ships from dozens of worlds move through nearby space. Each vessel represented a species that had broken free from hegemony control, now working together to build a better future. "You've created something unprecedented," Marcus said, joining her at the window. "The hegemony united worlds through force and fear. We've united them through hope and cooperation." Victoria nodded, thinking of how far they'd come. The hegemony's greatest mistake wasn't attacking Earth, she reflected. It was assuming that technological advancement and moral evolution had to be separate things. The galactic community continued to grow as more worlds were liberated. Each victory brought new allies, new innovations, and new challenges. But unlike the hegemony, this alliance faced its challenges together, combining the strengths and insights of all its members. In the Great Hall, a new session was beginning. Representatives from formerly hostile species now sat side by side, working together on projects that would benefit all. The quantum networks that had once carried hegemony orders now transmitted scientific data and cultural exchanges between worlds. "The galaxy is entering a new age," Victoria addressed the assembly. "The age of isolation and exploitation is over. Together, we will build something greater than the hegemony could ever imagine, a future where advancement comes not from domination, but from cooperation." As she spoke, ships from the Liberation Fleet departed Unity Station, carrying hope and technology to worlds still struggling under hegemony control. Humanity had not only survived their would-be destroyers, they had transformed the galaxy's future. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, promising not threat and destruction, but opportunity and discovery. The dawn of a new era had begun, and humanity would help light the way forward.